somebody again is going to say, oh, yeah, well, they know how to fall. Give me a damn break.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the John Man Show. John here.
This is Ant.
And the real American.
He always says that.
Real American.
That's who he is.
That's who I am.
Can't
I'm
you
going to
just
stick
say
with...
Real American.
That's what he does.
Sticking with my nickname.
No, that's what I do.
Doughboy Douchebag, Ant-Man. Real American.
Shut up.
Real American.
Shut up.
Real.
So, main event happened last night.
It did happen last night.
It was good. Did you watch it, John?
No.
Oh, you suck.
Well, I watched
I told
it.
you. I had 14 hours of sleep last night.
Well, could have taken 1 hour away.
No.
Well, I watched it, and I knew it was going to be a good match. I actually was, like I said yesterday, I was looking forward to this edition of Main Event because I really wanted to see how Kane and Cesaro perform in the ring.
Right.
Because I don't recall them being in the ring against each other before.
Yeah.
And I was looking forward to it because usually Cesaro is the stronger person in the match.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, he probably still is. As you know, Kane's not as strong as he used to be in the past, but he is much more agile, even for a 45-year-old, and 7-foot 45-year-old, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, they worked really well together.
They did.
Really well together, and they just have awesome chemistry, and it's more and more starting to look like Cesaro is going to be with the company for a long time because of his wrestling ability.
And they really do build him up too on commentary.
They have built him up. Even the faces that go up against him always have good things to say about him.
Everyone on commentary was face.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan, Miz, Michael Cole, all talking about how great Cesaro is.
Yeah.
Even though he's the heel.
Exactly. And even I have to go to Kane. I mean, it's not like in order to have a good match, you have to have both guys doing their job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what anyone says. Like, oh, it's this guy. It's mostly this guy working the match. Oh no, if it's that good a match, both guys are doing their job.
Yeah.
Kane's a veteran. He's obviously not in his prime, but I mean, again, it's like a different type of wrestling strategy. He still does have the power moves, but he uses speed much more than he used to. A lot of good spots. Kane jumping off the top rope, Cesaro countering with a European uppercut. That was beautiful. That was nice impact. Just definitely check this match out if you can. It's a shame that you won't see this match on Raw.
Right. Or SmackDown, or really anywhere.
Right, because there were 2 commercial breaks during this match. 2.
Yeah.
That's something else. That's saying a lot about these two guys, that they can actually put on a match that long and you won't get bored of it.
Yeah, and there was everything was right with this. I'll call it a segment. It wasn't like a backstage thing, but just the match, commentary, crowd.
Yeah.
Everything was right with this match.
Right. And it's interesting you mentioned the crowd too, because we did get Daniel Bryan had a few good spots there, especially with the Miz there also. For this segment, I won't say why is the Miz even there.
Right.
Because he did actually fit in.
He did.
Because Bryan was his former
protege, or
quote protege, because everybody knows Daniel Bryan's more talented than Miz. But they did reference that.
They did.
Bryan was also showing concern for Kane's health during the match.
Yes.
Because he wants him healthy at
Yes,
WrestleMania.
for WrestleMania.
And you don't hear that often.
No.
You hear it in sports all the time. You want to keep your players healthy for the playoffs. And very rarely do you hear a tag team partner saying the same thing about their tag team partner when going into WrestleMania.
But there's also a lot of times with tag teams that they won't necessarily have the partner on commentary.
Yeah, yeah.
It takes a special something it's really placement and mic skills to be on commentary.
Now this is this is an example of how they should be using Kane, because a lot of people have said, "Oh, Kane's past his payday. He can't do it much anymore.
He's slower now."
Right, but that's not the case, because he's not getting the matches to showcase the abilities that he still has.
Yeah.
If you watch this match, you see that he has plenty left in the tank.
Yeah.
More so than The Undertaker, I would say, because again, The Undertaker's doing one match a year basically.
Yeah.
Kane's still going out there. He's a regular, and even though his matches are short, he's still doing what he's got to do. And he's still very good at it.
Yeah. It's just where they put him. Before him and Daniel Bryan were together, he was a monster jobber.
Monster.
Yeah.
He was monster jobber for some reason, bigger than everybody else, still having short matches and losing.
Yeah.
Even when he would dominate throughout.
Exactly.
But now, this is one of those matches where the entire match, well, it was back and forth.
Yeah.
Both men looked very strong. Nobody looked bad or...
No, neither one of it. Well, like it is that sort of back and forth match, but that's every match.
Yeah.
Every match is going to be back.
Well,
and
no,
forth.
I mean, like,
but-
there's the main event face matches where they get beat up the whole time.
Yeah, that's not
then
what it
bring
was.
it back.
Right.
Where that's kind of what Kane's old thing was.
Yeah.
But on the other end, he
Exactly.
would dominate and still lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where this was very back and forth.
Which is why it was so good. I mean,
Yeah.
I would say this was even better than his match with Randy Orton at last year's WrestleMania.
All right.
Absolutely, much better than that. And that was a pretty good match too. The reason it gets bad flack is because it came right after Sheamus Daniel Bryan, and people were still upset about the 18 seconds or whatever. But again, you're right. It is where they put Kane. Even when they brought him back, as soon as they brought him back, they were screwed because what did they do? They threw him in a feud with John Cena.
Yeah.
And then right after that, he got in a feud with Randy Orton, leading to WrestleMania. Well, why didn't you just have him go against Randy Orton and build up, a better feud up till WrestleMania?
Yeah.
I didn't understand that. I mean, yeah, from January to April, yeah, that's a couple months, but you used to build up these feuds from Survivor Series to WrestleMania. So
Yeah.
don't tell me you can't do it.
Mhm.
Don't tell me it can't be done. But at this point, he did showcase his abilities again. It's nice to finally see a match that's more than 10 minutes involving Kane. And Cesaro just keeps impressing.
It does. He manages to add something new
Yeah.
all the time.
And those power moves get more impressive every time I see them.
Well, I wasn't even
Cesaro?
speaking of.
Yeah.
I wasn't even speaking of the match. Well, I mean, the moves in the match. I was talking about Cesaro.
Oh, yeah, the yodeling.
Yes,
He yodeled.
he yodeled.
And very well, I might add.
Yes.
He's multi-talented.
He
Yeah.
is. Speaks
All right.
other
Well,
languages.
think of Emma on NXT. How even during the
Yes.
match he's doing that. During the match, he would continue to yodel.
Yeah.
That's
He
pretty
did it
cool.
all the way to the ring, and then during the match.
Didn't know he could
Not
yodel.
not the entire match, but parts.
I wish
Yeah,
I-
like
I
when
wish
he
I
had-
was gonna meet him at Access.
when he had,
ask him to yodel.
You said Ryback was added to the yodeling?
No, it's a match actually. Zack Ryder versus Michael McGillicuddy.
Oh, I'm sorry. what a fake out.
What a fake.
It's
I
funny
was like,
because he
ah.
thought Ryback was added to the day that he was going, and instead it's a Zack Ryder versus Michael McGillicuddy match. Well, anyway, there was one spot that did impress me. It was Cesaro. He had Kane. I don't want to say. He got him up in a gut wrench, and just tossed him
Right.
behind him. But he didn't just do it like quickly. He
No.
held Kane for a
Yes.
few seconds, in just right there, and then
Yeah.
proceeded to lift him up again to throw him behind.
Yeah.
And it's little things like that. See, this is the funny thing about muscle. This is what I was telling you the other day. There's some people who build muscle for sculpt, for sculpture,
looks.
for
Yeah,
looks,
for looks.
and there are other people who do it for the
For
actual power.
What it's made for.
What it's made for just to get yourself stronger. Cesaro is one of those guys.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't see the detail in his muscle unless he flexes. And you've seen him flex.
Yeah.
The muscle is there.
Well, I think he has a good definition.
No, he has good
Regardless of
definition,
fight.
but he's not like, let's say, Batista.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Batista, or what's a better example? David Otunga.
Okay.
David Otunga is a better example because he does have, his muscle is made for show.
Yes.
Whereas Cesaro's muscle is made for, the power.
Okay.
That's why I would
Yeah,
say...
they were saying that on commentary, pound for pound, strongest guy
Yeah,
in the WWE.
exactly.
Then they compared him to Big E, which I didn't like
No biggie.
because I said this. I'm like, you know what Big E needs to do?
Huh.
This is aside from the match, and this is just what I thought of while I was watching the match.
Uh-huh.
He needs to just do more cardio
Okay.
because he doesn't have definition like Cesaro or Batista even had definition.
Yeah.
Where obviously he's strong, but he has none of that definition except for maybe his shoulders.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
just a big guy.
Now you can tell he's a really strong guy though,
Yeah.
because of the mass.
Yeah.
And again, he doesn't do it he doesn't do it to sculpt himself. He does it
No.
for the power. But I get what you're saying. He could get winded pretty quickly. He
Yeah.
has yet to be in the full match
No, yeah,
on,
they're
on
all
Raw or
squashers.
SmackDown.
Well, he hasn't had a match on the main roster,
Right.
which is interesting because some people are like Fandango. Why is he going to be at Mania when he hasn't had a match?
Right.
Well, they're doing almost the same thing with Big E. Even on commentary, they mentioned how you don't know what he's like.
Yeah.
How do you prepare for a guy like that? And I was sitting there thinking, watch
his
NXT.
NXT matches, yeah.
Watch the product
That's
you guys
true.
make. I don't know.
I just would like to understand why exactly Philadelphia decides to give Fandango the You Can't Wrestle chance and not Biggie Langston. Seeing as how they've had the same amount of wrestling matches,
You were gonna say WrestleMania, weren't you?
I saved myself.
Well, actually, interesting.
They were going to have the same amount of. They've had the same amount of wrestling matches. All they've done so far is attack people after matches or before matches. Yeah, what's the difference? What? Because one dances around?
Yep.
And he's not big.
Or is it because if you say it to Biggie Langston, you'll be referred to as a racist?
Ah.
Oh.
Ooh. Ooh.
A little jab at today's culture, but
Hey.
that's what you get with me.
Watch it.
Hey, it's the truth. It's the truth.
I'm the truth shall set you free.
So
I missed that R-Truth. Heal R-Truth.
he doesn't talk
Heel.
anymore.
Okay.
He doesn't talk
Heal
anymore.
R-Truth.
Back to main event.
But what was I saying before about Fandango? And to what you said, they have had the same amount of WrestleMania matches. So
Well,
0-0.
well, pre-show. If you count pre-show,
Was Johnny Curtis on?
Johnny Curtis, it was going to be in my review.
Interesting.
Yes.
All right. Okay, I'll let you. I'll,
I mean, there's nothing
refrain
really
from
to
that
review, but he was in a pre-show match.
then. Okay, was it a battle royal?
You know it was a battle royal.
My favorites. All right. Well, obviously, Kane Cesaro was not match of the night because we had
Get
a
outta
far
here.
better match.
Get out of here.
No,
Well, we didn't mention that AJ came
I'm
out.
playing around. Yes,
AJ came out.
AJ Lee had a spot as well, and this was a really good spot because I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
AJ Lee comes out. Kane's setting up for the choke slam, and her music hits. She skips down the ramp.
Of course.
Kane's watching, but before she doesn't manage to get around the ring like she usually does.
No.
Because she stopped
She's
dead
like
in her
1/3
tracks.
around the ring, maybe?
Yes, she gets around the back ring post, and then
And there's
just,
Brian. No!
yes, he's just standing there. He's
No!
ready. He's ready for her this
Did
time.
you see her? She wanted to laugh.
She was corpsing.
She
gonna
was. She was holding back laughter.
Yeah, because I think even she might have been
Yeah.
a little surprised as to him just being right there waiting for her.
Yeah.
It was pretty hysterical.
So she turns around
Uh-huh.
in an attempt to skip the other way.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan cuts her off again.
Yeah.
No! No! The whole time.
I know.
So she was leaving at that point, right?
Yeah, she started leaving.
She was still holding back laughing. Starts to leave. Kane hits the choke slam for the win.
Yeah.
And celebration, Kane and D. Bryan in the ring. Yes!
Yes.
And the crowd. Yes!
Yeah, so
Yes!
they were.
Yes! Like, I can't wait for this match at Mania.
Yeah, it'll be a good match.
can't
I do get the feeling that Ziggler and Big E will win because of an AJ interference.
I have a feeling that they won't win.
You think so?
I think that maybe they're going to have this thing where AJ is like the Black Widow in a match.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Oh, what? She caused Dolph Ziggler and Big
Bad
E the
luck.
titles?
Yeah. But I still think Dolph Ziggler will come out later and win. Cash
Maybe
in.
she's secretly with Asia, not secretly with Daniel Bryan and
Or
Kane.
Kane, right?
Yeah.
But I do hope she wins her match. Side note, this has nothing to do with main event. Obviously.
Well, after
After that very fantastic match.
yeah, we had a fantastic match.
We had
really good. It's
promos.
very much worthy of being on any pay-per-view.
So, here's the
It
question.
really was good.
How-
I can't imagine this being a pay-per-view match with a title on the line.
How many times do they go to the Raw rebound?
Well, we'll get into that. We did get a few. We got an Undertaker CM Punk promo for,
God.
but that was in a commercial spot. It wasn't during main event. We got a Sheamus promo
Oh, God.
We
because
did do that. I almost skipped over it.
because you know that's necessary.
Yeah. It really wasn't. It didn't add anything.
No, it's just
You-
basically what Sheamus would have said if he wasn't attacked by the Shield on Monday.
Aha.
What I noticed, and this has been bothering me for a couple of weeks, maybe not a couple of weeks, maybe last week, and I always forget to bring it up. You can't say ass on TV for WWE,
Ours.
but him saying
Arse.
arse is perfectly fine when it means the same thing. It's basically the same word.
But The Rock is allowed to say
Yeah, the Rock can say
bitch and all this kind of
ass.
stuff.
I don't
All that kind of
I
stuff.
just don't
and Triple H can
understand
say
the-
it too.
I don't understand Just say ass. Who cares?
Arse.
Him saying arse, it's the
Arse.
same word. For all intents and purposes, the same word.
It's like, yeah,
Kick your arse.
you're right though. The only ones that I hear say the word ass are The Rock and Triple H.
Yeah.
Because they can get away with it.
Of course.
But then I'm not such a fan of censorship unless maybe you decide
But I just,
you don't want to say a certain thing.
yeah. I
But
think those types of words.
It's the unnecessary censorship of ass. Do you say arse?
Yeah. I just think that the WWE has the right idea with censorship, though.
I don't know.
Not in terms of arse and all that stuff and who can get away with saying ass and who can't. What I mean by that
You can't
is,
say bitch, but you say biatch.
Biatch.
what I mean is like the use of profanity. Because I've seen shows from ROH, from CZW, and I've seen promos
ECW,
laced with profanity.
You said ECW?
CZW.
How about ECW? Old ECW
I could say ECW too.
was crazy.
And when you had these promos
The
laced with
dummies.
profanities, and yeah, Bubba Ray comes to mind as well.
Yes,
They just sound like idiots.
they do.
They sound like complete morons. Like, why don't you get a dictionary and find some new words
A
to use?
thesaurus.
A thesaurus. And I can't get, like, is it supposed to sound intimidating?
That's true.
It's-
Well, but there is
stupid.
that idea where the big, strong, tough guy isn't necessarily the smartest guy.
Right. But I mean, in order to use all these profanity, it doesn't have the same effect if you use it all the time.
Yeah.
Because you can't bring that intensity if you're using it every single promo that you
Unless
have.
you're chic.
And even Bully Ray.
No,
What?
I said unless you're chic.
No,
Iron
yeah,
Sheik.
but no,
And John's
Iron Sheik. No, but even Bully Ray, you know, when he says freaking in between like every sentence he says, you know he's censoring himself with every fibers of his body. He's trying not to say.
Yeah.
He's trying not to drop an F-bomb.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess I understand what WWE's doing there.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing with blood too. I think them
I think
reducing
they go
blood.
overboard. Well,
No,
not
in
the
terms
reduction
of in
that.
terms of stopping in between the match, like when
Right.
they stop a match to like help the person stop bleeding or whatever. That's stupid. But I mean, like
I mean, I can see it both ways.
not like
in
the bleeding
story-
in every match. I think
You're right. No, well, I meant like, I'm against it in the sense of whenever they would bleed and then put it on the website and it was in black and white.
Yeah.
Come on.
Like,
Come on. What are you even censoring there? People
know.
bleed. You have blood. It keeps you alive.
Kids
It keeps
bleed
you
every
going.
day.
Yeah. You fall
Kids go to the
scrape your
playground.
knee, you're gonna bleed. What's the big deal?
I don't know. That I don't understand. But I do. What I mean by blood censorship is not having
You
blood
don't,
in
you
every
don't want a
match.
bunch of dusty roads.
Well, if they,
Yeah, I
if
mean,
they're
Ric
gonna
Flair.
do that, they might as well gray it when it happens live. They're just gonna gray it.
No, stop! Don't give ideas like that. They
That's
should
terrible.
stop.
They might
the
do
message
it.
is they should stop
might
doing
do
that.
it.
Yeah, please no. That's a terrible idea. But no, like
It's
like
blood.
I,
It's
like
a part of life.
like I discussed with you the other day. It's funny because once once WWE did put that blood thing in place, TNA just started using blood like
Yeah.
left and right,
Yeah.
and you see the difference.
Yeah.
And I think it is better, and it
Well, they
also
started using
has
fake blood left and right.
yeah, like
was
RVD
it?
getting hit with the nail 2x4 by Abyss.
Or when I can't remember who it was, went through a glass mirror or
I know what
something
you're
like
saying.
that,
I know what you're talking
and
about.
there's no blood, and they have the towel, and it's covered.
It's covered in blood already.
What?
Was it Christian?
I don't remember.
I can't remember
Oh,
what
with
it
the
was.
towel?
Yeah.
It was Christian.
I remember Christian. Yeah, they
Oh,
were
God, it was so
TNA,
stupid. I was
come
like,
on.
TNA!
But
Ah.
but I also think it, like I said, the same way if you reduce profanities, it will bring more intensity when you do use it. Same thing with blood, you know. If like the Brock Lesnar Triple H confrontation, you know, it's been a while since we saw that much blood.
Yeah.
Obviously, someone bleeded a little too hard.
I think sometimes it's called for.
Yeah.
For dramatic
Oh,
effect.
definitely.
But just like that with I'm just saying with language censorship, I guess it obviously you don't want to hear a Dudley promo
Yeah.
going back when constantly.
Yeah.
But I think that's also not that it should be a rule in place, just like maybe you don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
So you think we're going to see a lot of blood during Lesnar and Triple H?
Well, no,
No.
I don't think so. With that being said, I do believe that blood in Hell in a Cell, Elimination Chamber, cage matches
We're
are
supposed to be
close.
those
Are
really
close.
extreme scenarios.
Hardcore matches, last man standing. I do believe in those matches to have more of a sense of believability. You do need some type of win. There, I will say, yeah. But when
We're
you're
not
having
saying CZW.
yeah, I'm
style
not saying
bleeding, just-
CZW or anything. I'm just saying
CCW.
blade of forehead or whatever. I get that, and I do understand that. But obviously, this match between the Bella Twins and the Funkadactyls.
We almost didn't even talk
Speaking
about. We started talking about anything else but this match.
Speaking of them, actually,
Mm-hmm.
they announced it will be Brodus Clay, Tensai, and the Funkadactyls versus Rhodes Scholars and the Bella Twins at WrestleMania 29 in a mixed tag match.
As if you didn't know it was gonna happen.
I'm just surprised it's not the pre-show.
I wonder what it's gonna be.
And
That's what I
they
thought the
added
pre-show
The Miz and Wade Barrett for the Intercontinental title.
You know what? It's probably gonna be US title again. Just like in my review.
Yep.
U.S. title. What do you mean?
Pre-show.
Yeah, it probably will be. Which sucks because Cesaro again proved to me last night that he is
But
one
also
of,
doesn't
if
have a
not
number one
the.
contender though.
Huh?
He also doesn't have a number one contender.
Whose fault is that? That's Creative's fault,
Yes.
not his fault.
I'm just saying.
And because
I'm just
Creative couldn't find an opponent for Cesaro, he's being left off the WrestleMania card, and he is probably the most talented guy there.
It's
Okay.
next to Daniel Bryan.
What about Punk?
Well, Punk's got a match against the Undertaker. Come on.
Well, Daniel Bryan's in a match too. I'm just saying.
But I'm saying, with Cesaro, I would put Cesaro up there with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan
Yeah.
in terms of his
Yeah.
wrestling ability.
Yeah.
But because of Creative,
Yeah.
they couldn't figure out who to give him an opponent. They could have given him the freaking Miz,
Yeah.
and they leave him off the
But
card.
they can't because Miz beat him on SmackDown.
Yeah, they could have given
To
him
send a message to Wade Barrett.
That's the stupidest thing.
And people will forget
And
that,
I don't get
that Cesaro won the feud.
And,
Yes.
and what pisses me off is I don't even get that upset by Creative these days because I know they're stupid.
You've just
But
given
now
up.
the fact that, Cesaro every day, he wrestles on every friggin' show. You see him on Raw, Main Event, Superstars, SmackDown, and they couldn't find a spot for him at WrestleMania?
That's impressive.
Think about it. He's on all the shows.
That's impressive. Because Punk doesn't even do that. Even though Punk is injured, it's still wrestling.
You could say Miz doesn't even do that. Not that I'm saying I'm a fan or not a fan of Miz, but I think in a
because
radio interview he was saying how he works harder than everybody. He does press all the time, he does all PR stuff. Okay.
What Miz needs to
but-
understand is there's a difference between having matches every day of every week and doing PR. Okay,
Yeah.
because for one, you're sitting there talking on the mic, right? While Cesaro's out there picking up Kane and Big Show
Yep.
and Great
And
Khali.
Brodus Clay.
So don't give
and
me
Great
that
Khali.
Miz is the hardest working. You know what? Going to a talk show in a suit doesn't mean you're the hardest working guy out there.
Good point.
So maybe if you had more talent and you were putting more matches.
Well, that being said, John Cena has done the same thing.
Yeah, but
And I will give it. It's funny because I'll give it to John Cena. When I heard this, I was also giving it to Miz, because you have the travel. Apparently, we don't travel all that much,
right.
but travel does take it out of you. You hear people talking
Oh,
about
it
jet
does.
lag and
Right.
all this other stuff, different time zones, and it really does mentally take it out of you.
Right. But I'm saying one is doing the travel to do talk shows.
Well, that's,
The other one's doing matches, is doing travel to do matches.
Yeah.
Well, that's why.
And doing more matches, more than one match a day.
Yeah.
Because our Raw and SmackDown and Main Event are recorded the same day.
SmackDown Main Event, yeah.
So
And I think, from what I read, also Saturday morning time, but I don't know if that's true or not.
But I would say this is why people look forward to WrestleMania, because it's like a vacation for them. You know
Yeah,
what
for
I
like
mean?
for like a week or two, they're all in the area.
Yeah, they're all in the area.
Yeah.
So, and actually, it's
Well, like this week they were all in
Sunday.
PA.
Yeah. So Sunday they're all in Atlantic City for Saturday they're all in Atlantic City for the house show down there, and leading up to WrestleMania. So they're going to be all in New Jersey. You know, so
Even though we haven't gotten to the match on Main Event, I also want to say, speaking of them being in the area, I kind of rethought about working Main Event. Mania weekend, because celebrities have gone into the theater.
yeah, that's
People that
right.
are around here, I met Matt Hardy,
Bleh.
whatever.
Oh.
They could potentially be there.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
and
always a
I won't
possibility,
be
yeah.
there.
of course.
And just see everybody posting on the internet. Look who was in the theater. No! No!
no. No.
No, I quit. I can't do this. Matt Hardy's all over the show for it.
Unbelievable.
No, I refuse.
Well, I figure a lot of people are gonna be like in the New York area. For
Yeah,
the most part.
Edgewater's a
Or
pretty
access.
much more popular place than
Yeah.
most people
Yeah, I
know.
know.
Yeah.
So
Much more than people give it credit for. Or
yeah,
realize.
I know a lot of the Yankees work out
Yes.
there. So
A lot of Yankee players have been to Target.
yeah,
Not to name drop,
Yeah.
just
but you know,
champion.
like Ice-T and his girlfriend have been in there a bunch of times.
Mm.
They're celebrities.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
to
what you
some
mean.
extent.
Yeah. People might know who they are.
Ice-T.
Dr. Oz has been in there.
Oh yeah, Dr. Oz actually lives in the area.
Yes.
So
Yeah, he lives in.
It'd be kind
he
of
lives here.
funny to see a rock.
it's funny because when my sister went trick or treating a few years ago, his brother or sister or whoever lives there, was giving out these big candy bars.
Really?
And once they ran out, because everybody goes there for trick or treating,
Really? I was surprised because
and the guy actually started giving out money once he ran out of
Wow.
candy. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, millions of dollars.
it wasn't like
Millions of dollars.
$1. From what I hear, it's at least $5. I think somebody got a 20.
Wow.
he didn't even check the money. He
I
just
like
starts
your,
throwing it.
I like your costume. Here's $20.
Like originality.
Go dressed as Dr. Oz. See, right?
That's 100 for you.
Yes.
Uh,
Unless he hates his.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, imagine like seeing The Rock at a Burger King. Hey, aren't you The Rock? No, I'm someone else. Someone else.
No, you'll be able
the
to.
eyebrow.
You'll be able to tell if The Rock's at Burger King though, because it'll be surrounded by security.
Yeah.
You know, see, a wrestler's one thing, but The Rock he's on another level with
I
his
know.
celebrity movie status and stuff. So
And his movie's coming out this week.
yeah,
Yeah.
which
So
one? The G.I. Joe?
Yeah.
Or?
So it's gonna be pretty interesting.
Okay.
You had one more match to fill on Main Event.
I think I can talk about it.
Yes, this was.
And can
Diva
cover
tag.
one team. I'll cover the other team.
Yes. Well, the Bellatons were introduced by.
Well, first the Funkadactyls.
Yes, they were. They were introduced by.
Funkadactyls
First they
came out.
introduced.
They introduced what John said, tons of funk, which me and Ant-Man totally agree is unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because they weren't even involved in the match.
And they don't
They
weigh
were
a
just
ton.
there. They don't.
So.
By the way, I'll say it on here. I got called a smark when I was telling the story to somebody about how they're not tons of funk because their combined weight doesn't even equal half.
How
of
is
a
that a
ton.
smart?
That's what I
Smart!
said. No, it's funny because I'm like, that doesn't make me a smart. It just makes me smart.
Yeah,
that I know
right.
what a ton is.
Exactly.
They're not even half a ton, so they can't be. Tons would be maybe 2 tons.
Yeah.
At least 2 tons, 4,000 pounds. They're not anywhere close to that.
Exactly.
No, you're right.
I don't see how that makes you smart. But.
Mark.
No, it was said as a joke.
Well, anyway.
Because the person knows that John's Prince of the Smarks, and we know the King of the Smarks, and we're all
King of the
generally
Smarks.
just Smarks on the show.
Right.
That me saying anything about it. Awesome. Breaking news?
Yes.
Oh, I got some breaking news. I read that from across the table. John sucks.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, they announced tons of funk.
Yeah.
So you know they're never going to be champion.
Yeah.
And it was unnecessary because they weren't even in the match.
Pretty much. They just came out. Did
Just came out.
the shovel,
Yeah.
the Gangnam Style again.
Yeah.
They gotta get some.
Yeah,
moves.
you know what? They have to get some new moves.
I mean, the shovel I get.
The
but
shovel
they,
you keep.
They gotta get some new
But the
moves. you know?
Gangnam Style, come on.
That's old
Start
stuff.
doing the
right?
electric slide or something.
So basically, they came out, waited at the ring. Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow
Yes.
actually liked part of the name. They said there is tons of stuff in the ring. It's
There's tons of
tons
stuff
of
in the ring.
saturated fat,
Yes.
which
Which then I proceeded to say, that's the bad fat.
exactly.
That's the fat you don't want.
That's the bad
That's
boy.
The fat, that's the fat you want out
Tons
of your
of
diet.
fatness. That's what they should be called.
No.
Tons of fatness.
Tons of saturated.
But then
Fat asses.
they proceeded to introduce the Bella Twins. They had an amazing match.
Who looked hilarious when they first came out.
Yeah,
I'd say it every time, it's
Rob's a
just
fan of Nikki's boob job, but
I'm
not
not.
in the way you'd think.
I'm in the, it just, it's like how you could be a fan of a clown. It's like how you could potentially be a fan of a clown.
Yeah.
Because it's just funny to me.
It's just
True.
because we know what it is. It's not natural.
You
but-
see the 2 elephants in the room.
yes.
And not the tons of funk.
Are they really that noticeable?
They're to me.
Like there's one.
I'll give them, no, because I was saying this to the Ant-Man.
I do
During
wonder.
the match, you can't tell when they're all moving around, there's actual action going on.
Uh-huh.
But when they just come out and they're just basically just
Yeah.
walking, you notice. You can't not notice.
Yeah, like you won't notice during the match. Well,
Yeah.
maybe
I couldn't tell you who pinned Naomi. Just
Right.
just to get to the end of the match. Couldn't tell you who pinned.
right.
He
So it was the usual match with the Funkadactyls. You know, Cameron got dominated. Made a hot tag to Naomi.
Hot tag.
She
Used
wrecked
her
up the place a
posterior.
while. Yeah,
her posterior.
she
again.
tore it up. But we got a distraction from Team Road Scholars.
Ah.
From Cody's
From
mustache.
the spoilers that John read, it was a distraction from Cody's mustache.
Yeah.
But I didn't get that from when I watched it. Maybe I missed something.
Well, no,
But he was on
yeah.
the apron. But
The
I
spoiler
didn't
was
know
just
what
a
he
joke.
did.
They were just joking around.
Okay,
So I guess that's what it was.
maybe.
But it's totally possible
Yeah.
that she was distracted.
Yes.
Then we got a bit of a sloppy roll up,
Yeah.
but it is what
Sloppy
it
roll up.
it is. What it is. The Beltons win, and then we proceed to get, let's see, most
Promos
of-
for another 30 minutes.
Yeah,
25 minutes.
we got the show ended. At least the last 20 minutes, or maybe 10, 15. I would say 15. Was basically the Rock and Cena segment from.
That's
Raw.
true. Yeah. I actually because I didn't get to really watch it on Raw. It was boring, but it was.
Well, now
But I
that you
watched
did
it
get
on-
to see it, what did you
It
think?
was
of it?
good.
Right?
I don't know why everyone pooped on it.
Well,
I mean, I get
the
the
beginning.
The beginning was slow.
Yeah, okay.
You know
But
why?
toward the
Because
end-
they didn't show the beginning.
Uh-huh.
They started it off
They
from
started, like,
Booker
mid-point.
T's.
They knew.
Booker
Even
T's
they
questions.
knew it was
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've never said that WWE's bad at editing.
Uh-huh.
They always make everything look
Yeah.
much more entertaining than it really was.
Yeah. They
Did anyone notice that?
they
Bret
showed
Hart-
Booker T and the Dusty Rhodes question.
Yeah.
Did anyone notice Bret Hart had got no reaction when he came out?
No,
didn't
that's
watch
not
it.
true.
I didn't watch it.
He got a reaction. He got a bit of a pop, more than the other three anyway. Well, maybe
That's
not more
true.
than
Not
he got
Booker T.
about the same reaction as Mick Foley. I would say Booker T got the biggest reaction.
Well, Booker T's still around,
Yeah.
And by the
and
way,
he's in the whole thing. Like Mick Foley.
Everybody got a bigger reaction than Dusty Rhodes.
and also I see he kind of let himself go. Like he's gray now.
Yeah,
he's been great. He's been great though.
Yeah, he's been like that for a while, but he's tying it back. He did lose some weight,
He did.
I didn't know
which
that.
is good because
I wasn't watching. I was watching.
Well, at one
Seen
point
Raw.
he did keep dyeing it. Now he's like, I guess he said the hell with it, just like
He doesn't seem like a guy to me that would dye his hair though.
well, he's not
He
anymore.
just doesn't
so,
care.
Yeah.
See, that's the way it is.
So I mean,
Yes, there is. That's it. That's it.
Mr. Was the Mr. Ever will be.
And he gets that. He leaves.
he's accepted it.
He drops an F-bomb and leaves.
At some point, I mean, guys just have to accept. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm gray. Forget it.
Some
Forget
people look better with
about
the
it.
salt and pepper hair.
Yeah. But I mean, he's
Some people
doing.
look
He's
better
doing.
with
He's wise now, but with tying it back though, because
Yes.
he looked like I've seen a picture with
He
him
looked
with
like a
gray
crazy old
hair.
lady, right?
Yeah.
Crazy
so-
old cat lady.
No,
Throwing cats at people.
like for his appearance here, he didn't look bad.
Yeah.
You know, he did. He is gray, but he had it tied back. He had on a nice jacket. You know,
A nice
looked
leather jacket.
Nice.
was it? No, not the leather jacket. Not the leather jacket.
Jean shorts.
No jean shorts. He was
Wow, he
actu-
looks so out of place. in
He was
jean shorts.
actually
No, he doesn't.
dressed in.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Should have wrestled in his attire. Bring it back.
I don't know why
I don't-
he gave up on it.
I know.
On his attire.
Yeah,
Like, he was not in the shape he wanted to be in.
that's probably it.
He
That's
I think
how-
he
how it
admitted
passed out.
that he's past his prime, so
Yeah,
he
of
didn't
course.
want to use his the attire that he used.
So
Alright.
we're wrestling pants. We're wrestling trunks.
He's not in the same shape.
Well, it was a street fight.
It
was a street fight, so he didn't
Everyone
need
wears
to
a
use
generic
his,
jeans and shirt in a street fight.
But yeah, this promo really got me right back behind John Cena.
He's
Yeah.
not gonna win.
He's gonna win.
Not gonna win.
Well,
I'm actually interested.
well, I got $10 saying he's gonna win, so I hope he
Ooh.
wins.
I would figure that John Cena losing it would finally add an extra depth of character.
I
That-
think him losing would add another.
That's what I'm
depth
saying.
to his- Yeah, that's what I.
Losing-
would be awesome.
This sets up something. You know what will happen if he does lose again. I
think
don't
he
think
snaps. Yeah, he goes wild.
he's gotta.
We'll be crazy. He loses again. I'll take the $10. You know, whatever. I lost $10. But then he snaps and just goes on a year-long winning streak.
Well, I
For
did tell-
next
I-
Mania.
I did say that 2013 is the year of Cena.
It is.
So
I think he's losing.
Well, I hope he doesn't.
I hope he does.
I hope he would have won the
Because
first
then
one.
he wins the title at Extreme Rules by cheating and beats the hell out of Rock with a steel chair.
And then puts him on the shelf for another year
Yeah.
to set up for another Mania match.
Yep.
And meanwhile, John will be pissed because he's gonna start doing PR for his other movie. He's not selling it.
It's not
He's
selling
not
it.
selling it. What an a-hole.
How would he sell though? Would he have
John
like
complained for a year about him not selling?
he'll have like in every movie that he does.
cast.
He'll,
How does he know, son? He's not selling
he'll
the injury.
inexplicably have like an arm brace or
He
something.
should.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Wow.
Either way, another solid edition of main event. At
Except for the
least the first match was. I would say this main event was good because of the first match and because of the first match alone.
Yeah.
And for those who didn't see the Rock Cena promo, that too, I guess. I didn't think we needed the Sheamus interview.
It really was the good part of the interview.
We didn't need the
Q&A.
Sheamus interview.
No.
I don't know why they had to put that in there.
Like I said, I almost accidentally went over it.
You should have.
Fast forwarding through promos, almost didn't notice.
You should have. You should have just.
It wasn't that
over
big. It wasn't long.
Ah, there you go.
It wasn't long, so it wasn't that big a loss.
And you know, it was the typical Sheamus.
Sheamus
Yeah.
guy.
I'm gonna kick his arse.
Kick your
He's
arse.
in for a good arse kicking.
Arse.
You know.
A little wrestling news. Honky Tonk Man needs our help. Actually, it's Marty Jannetty that needs our help, but my
I want to hear this.
Yeah.
Honky Tonk Man is trying to get someone to set up an Indiegogo project for former WWE star Marty Jannetty, who apparently needs surgery. Honky Tonk tweeted, "Just talked to Marty Jannetty. I saw his ankle. Needs surgery ASAP. To proud to ask for help. A real man in need. Can we help?"
I don't know, man.
I don't
This internet helping thing is, I think.
Yeah, it's
Too
getting out of
much
hand.
now, yeah.
Didn't we already contribute to your funds when we paid to see you guys?
Yeah, right.
Where's that money going?
Yeah. Well, I was honestly, I didn't know about this. This was news to me. I thought it was going to be another Marty Jannetty's. We need money for an intervention. Because from what I've heard, he's had some drug problems and stuff. That's where I really thought this was going.
Yeah.
But that also explains why he needs the money, because he spent it all on drugs. So.
So why don't you sell those drugs? I mean,
This is what he should do. He should be a drug pharmacist, a street pharmacist. Then he can get arrested
Yes.
and get free health care.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how this country works now, apparently. So.
Plus, it might add to some street cred if he made a return. He's been to prison.
Yeah.
He's dangerous.
Exactly. No, it's the truth. It's the truth.
Rock and John Cena are both booked for the Today Show on April 3rd. Yay!
Same. Oh, that should be interesting.
Interesting. I wonder if they'll do anything to each other.
No, they won't. They're just gonna have the generic show.
Stare down. Stare down. There we go. We have our feud.
You know what I haven't seen in a while is the People's Eyebrow.
Yeah, right?
I could have. I mean, he could have at least plugged it in once during that promo.
Yeah, with a reaction face to something John Cena said.
Yeah.
I guess it was too serious.
And also about Chris Jericho's black eye on Monday's Raw actually came from the SmackDown match from Swagger.
Nice. Boy, Swagger's just injuring people left and right, huh?
Look at that Swagger.
Who else did he injure? Oh.
Who else did he injure? Wait a second.
Ricardo?
No,
Yes.
not Ricardo. Somebody else he injured. A bit of a botch. Trying to remember who it was.
It was Carr's fault.
Yeah, it was. Jack Swagger's just been in a couple bad spots where the person botches and he just happens to be the guy in the match. So
Yeah.
I still have not seen. I can't decide whose fault that was. Do you remember the back body drop a few weeks ago with Ryback? Where he was running the ropes, Ryback, giving the back body drop, and Swagger fell awkwardly.
I don't remember.
Did they ever? Okay. I can't talk about it if you guys don't remember. No, this was months ago. This was before he had that hiatus. Where he
Swagger?
he just about landed on his head.
Swagger?
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
It was a while ago, right?
Yeah.
Did we? That was on
like-
Ryback, wasn't it?
That was like 9 months ago or something like that.
Ryback,
I
blame
don't
Ryback.
remember that.
Sin Cara is still not clear to wrestle,
Okay.
which is kind of sad news for him. He's probably
I know,
because
because he could have faced Cesaro.
Yes.
Because he did pin him. But, I mean, concussion, what is it? They give you a couple weeks. It's already been 2.
Yeah.
He can make it. He can get cleared. I guess if he just doesn't start running into walls or something, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's not cleared, then he hasn't been wrestling either, so he should be.
Did he miss last year's WrestleMania also?
Yeah.
He hasn't been to a WrestleMania.
Yeah, him and Mysterio. They're on the
And
stay in the WWE plan.
this is interesting.
Knee injuries every year.
WWE is losing a bunch of money on the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Of course it
You
is.
see what happens?
Even
you
with
see
the
what, you see what
sellout.
New York does to you?
Yep.
Freaking place. Well, you're fine. You want to lose money, but you keep plugging them all over the place.
Yep.
You're the one getting good deals over here, but you want to keep plugging that place that's like hurting you. Fine. Go ahead. See what you get.
Yeah, right. We have some backstage talk on Punk.
I'll tell you what. It's not like it's just that because they have to talk to the Empire State Building Committee to even use the image of that freaking building.
It looks like Punk's gonna take like a month off.
So
Well,
I
he's
guess
gonna lose. It doesn't
I guess yeah, the loss is probably going to send him into some type of kayfabe depression.
No, he'll get beat so bad that he'll have to take time off.
Oh, you think that's what it'll be?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
gonna be that. Undertaker will just beat him that badly
Okay.
that he'll have to take time off.
And WWE is
That's
booking.
That
The only
does make
good
sense.
storyline
Yeah.
that would work out.
Yeah.
Sure.
He comes back even more pissed than before, saying he's still the best.
Right.
Come
on.
Or he could come back with very humbled
Maybe
after a beating like that.
because
So.
it's funny because you think, oh, this person will never turn face, this person will never turn heel, or it'll take something big or long to do it, and it really doesn't.
Not really.
Like
Like, do you
Del
remember-
Rio, he went face like that
Yeah.
just because Ricardo was getting attacked,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and that was it. That's all it took.
Mm-hmm.
WWE is booking both The Rock and Brock Lesnar for Extreme Rules pay-per-view because CM Punk will be likely to be missing the event. There are incorrect reports going around that Rock versus Brock is scheduled to main event Extreme Rules. Both will be there, but there's no word yet on who will they be wrestling.
It'd be Triple H. Triple H versus Brock Lesnar.
Waiting for The Rock.
Oh goodness, that feud.
Oh wait, last year was Extreme Rules Brock
Brock Lesnar
versus
versus
yeah.
John Cena. Yeah.
Maybe they'll do a rematch.
Well, I don't know. I really don't know. It seems like
It
they
seems like
just
the
let.
only way for that to work is if Brock Lesnar wins at Mania.
Backstage news on plans for Del Rio. One of the major goals for 2013 is to make Roberto Del Rio into the Mexican babyface star that Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio were. Regardless of what happens at WrestleMania, with Jack Swagger possibly winning or Dolph Ziggler cashing in, the direction of the World Heavyweight title picture is still about building Del Rio.
Well,
Wait, and this is news. Why?
well,
Because if you do we really need them to tell us this? Because have we not noticed on
Yeah.
our own? This is
Well-
it's so obvious, and these guys are acting like this is news.
well, the only way to really do that to me is to have Del Rio lose at Mania.
Yeah.
Have him lose the title.
That would prolong the feud.
Yeah. Well, like I've said, you don't need the title for the feud, but
Right.
to give him something to work toward, losing the title just to work to get it back,
Yeah,
get everybody behind you. Everyone likes the underdog or the challenger, I guess.
exactly. Because there really was no storyline in terms of him wanting to beat the Big Show for the title anyway.
No.
He just got.
It was Big
I guess
Show.
he just got lucky, you know. And he retained against the Big Show, but we've yet to see a real story concerning Face Del Rio trying to become the champion.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be interesting to see what route they take to that. Well, actually, no, it wouldn't because we already know it's going to be the Eddie Guerrero type thing.
Yeah, if it's
But
Eddie Guerrero,
it
you
not
really
be-
don't need the title because he got built up over not having the title.
Yeah, and Eddie Guerrero only had the title once.
Yeah, by the time he got the title,
He was
he was already
already-
at that level. It wasn't
Exactly.
like the title brought him to the level.
No, not
he
at
was
all.
there.
A lie, a cheat, a steal.
So, like I said, Dolph wins the title. You could still have
I think
Del
we're gonna
Rio
be, I
Swagger
think we're gonna
feud.
be disappointed.
Yeah.
I don't think he's cashing it in.
Yeah, I don't care.
It all depends. I believe it really all depends on where that tag match is set up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't even make. I don't know. I think it's not gonna happen.
If they lose,
Everybody
the tag
wants to
match,
see it to happen.
If they lose the tag match, I'm that much more confident that he's going to cash in.
Because what's
That's
possible
saying
is
that the tag match obviously comes first.
because what's possible is that the report said, well, we don't even know. They could just be, doing what they usually do, which is letting feces
Or
come out
remember,
of their
Ziggler said
mouth.
April 8th.
But what I'm saying is, they if they want to get the title off Del Rio, but they don't want to give it to Swagger because of this whole driving under the influence or whatever, your scapegoat is Dolph Ziggler.
It
That's
is.
it.
And that's a way to take the title off of Del Rio. I don't think Swagger would still be in the storyline though.
And they did do an interview with Ziggler.
What I'm saying
Because
is,
what would have to happen
if
is
they're going to build off of just the feud, they don't need the title for it.
Yeah.
Well,
They
I
could
think
drop it.
Here's what I think this is what they're gonna do though, and which it would make sense. Let Swagger win at Mania. He goes on Raw saying he's the champion. Del Rio kicks the living crap out of him. Ziggler comes in and wins the title.
That's
Why
exactly,
Swagger and Del Rio
that's-
can still feud.
That's exactly
Ziggler-
the way that Jack Swagger won it a few years ago, actually. When
So did Punk.
when Edge came out, attacked Jericho, and then Swagger cashed in.
Yep.
I believe Edge
It's like the
attacked him.
generic thing that happens.
It's never really a match. The only the shortest match that ever did happen was Edge and Cena, and that lasted what 15, 20 seconds.
Absolutely not. You had RVD cashing in at One Night Stand.
Well, that was
a
well,
legit match.
Yes.
But they've always had like interference of some sort, I guess.
Yeah. They're also, I guess the only thing that makes me think that Ziggler won't cash in at WrestleMania is, do they really want Dolph Ziggler to steal the show? Because that could, for all we know, steal the show.
Definitely, that might take away from Rock and Cena.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know because you know that's.
But it was
gonna
just
be the main event.
it's stupid
You
though
know
because
that's going to be the main event, Rock and Cena.
yeah.
It is.
So you have it somewhere earlier on in the show.
Yeah.
Probably
They
a match
have
behind
been doing it
two
lately.
matches behind it.
Yeah.
I have a funny feeling the world title match is going to be first.
I don't know
Because the way they have the
they
whole
keep
thing,
doing
the
it.
18-wheeler set up.
That would be interesting to see though if they did do that because Del Rio would because then Ziggler could possibly be entering the tag match as world champion.
I don't know. Maybe they'll have that as a pre-show.
The tag
The
match? I don't think
don't
so.
know.
I think
They snubbed Daniel Bryan again.
Yeah. No, they're not going to say because once
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
Smarks would be very upset.
What's it matter?
but I think at this
They
point
wanted Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus on my review.
I do think that
Mania and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
at this point the WWE is just trolling the Smarks.
They are.
And the funny thing is Smarks don't realize it. They just keep getting upset about it and keep getting surprised at all these incredibly bad decisions.
Well, like I said, it pisses me off what they're doing to Ziggler.
Uh-huh.
I mean, now, okay, you're building him up now, and all of a sudden that loss with Jericho, how do you come back from that? You know?
I think it's one of those things where they're having him win and lose.
But he was losing.
He was losing, and then he started winning again, and then he's losing because I think he loses on SmackDown, right? From the spoilers.
Yes.
He loses, so it's one of those things. Well, I mean, he didn't get pinned, but it's one of those things
Still
where
lost. He still lost.
it's one of those things where it might leave you to guess what's really going to happen.
Yeah.
Cause you have that whole thing where you win a bunch of times, and everyone's like, "Who he's gonna lose when the big match happens?"
Yeah.
Or you lose a bunch of times, like, "Oh, he's gonna win now," because of all the losses. Whereas if he wins and loses, you might not really know.
Yeah.
TNA's tonight?
It
I was
is.
going to segue into that.
We should just talk about this review so I can get it over with.
Well, you want to bring up WrestleMania 27 review?
Yeah.
Uh,
Talking about Ziggler being at Mania. Hey, WrestleMania 27. I don't know why I said
23.
23. No idea why I said that.
Me neither.
That has nothing to do with anything.
Well, yeah. I don't know why.
It just slipped up.
Take it, Rob.
I will take it. Now, I got this on Blu-ray, so I don't know if this edition comes on the standard DVD,
Alright.
but I'll start off with
I'm
this
sure it does.
because it was pre-show, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
I remember when we were looking forward to this Mania, we were looking forward to Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus for the U.S. title. I remembered this. I remember everyone got really pissed because they decided to make it a pre-show.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember this, and so I finally got to see it. It was I didn't remember this. It was a lumberjack match. Daniel Bryan versus champion Sheamus, having come off of the King of the Ring curse, where he just kept losing
Yeah.
and losing to like John Morrison and stuff. So that's really bad. The match ends in a brawl with all
Lumberjacks.
all the lumberjacks, everybody brawling.
The generic lumberjack ending.
Yeah, Teddy Long came out to make it a huge 23-man battle royal.
I
remember that's why I thought 23.
I thought you were gonna say 23-man tag match.
No, that.
Now I wonder how that would work out.
It could have worked
That
because they
worked
always have half the guys as face, half the guys as heel.
Yeah, and then that one guy could be the special guest referee.
I guess that's why I said 23 because it was a 23-man battle royal. And at the time, I thought, what a weird number.
Yeah.
23. And the reason I said this before, Johnny Curtis was one of the Lumberjacks. This was
Okay.
after he won NXT. I think it was season 4.
Okay.
It was one of those seasons, and they actually kind of built him up a little bit on commentary, talking about how he won NXT and all that.
Right.
But he hadn't done anything, as far as I can remember. He hadn't been on SmackDown and all that.
By the way, you know why they made that 23-man battle royal? Because they had nothing else to do for those 23 other.
Of course, but
guys.
they've done that in the past, having battle royals beforehand, which I think is ridiculous.
Hey, I like my battle royals. Pre-show battle royals. No, I'm just kidding.
We're probably gonna see it anyway, so.
Yeah, the sneeze coming on.
What? Wow.
God bless you.
That took so long. Did you see my face for like
Yeah, I thought
45 seconds?
I thought you were offended by my liking battle royals.
Yeah, right.
I like the battle royals where you have to actually pin somebody. All these over-the-top battle royals are just boring to me.
Okay.
Boring.
Just like that. But they had some allegiances. I guess it would have made more sense had I seen it the year it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Had I seen the pre-show or something, because I didn't remember some of the stories or backstories they were talking about on commentary.
Okay.
But I'll just get to the end. Saw Khali, Sheamus, and Daniel Bryan, the last 3 guys.
Okay.
Sheamus eliminates Daniel Bryan, gets back into the ring. They're both on the outside, and Khali eliminates Sheamus for the win.
Yay!
One of the things that
Clearly.
never matter.
Yeah.
Yay!
You should have had one of the guys in the match actually winning, but
Yeah.
I guess having Khali did something.
Kind of.
What did it really do for him though? Nothing. Exactly.
That's how I felt about this WrestleMania. Those
What,
3 uhs. This WrestleMania is
No,
so
because
bad.
I write the stuff down and I think, oh, I don't need to write it down. I'll remember it.
I actually was just looking forward to it as a WrestleMania, but the card, especially the main event, I was like, this is gonna suck.
Before we get to that, I remember specifically this pay-per-view was the largest one I had gone to. I never usually go to parties or anything,
Okay.
but one of our mutual friends had just all these people over at his house for Mania, and it was interesting.
Yeah, it was. We didn't hear a lick of commentary.
Yes.
No.
Not at all.
But it was interesting because of certain ways I felt about matches, and then just hearing the group of people behind me
Now, did you?
on the opposite
that's right.
side, on the opposite side of how I felt about it. Just
We're
coming up
at
with
so-and-so's house for
yes,
WrestleMania
I just said that.
Sorry.
Right.
I completely forgot. I thought it was at my
We
house.
even talked about this before we started the
Yeah,
show.
I know.
Anyway, show opens up with Kerry Hilson singing the national anthem.
Yep.
Okay. I don't remember it, but
I skipped over it. I don't need to hear someone sing it again.
yeah. Unless they're really, really good. Maybe I'll.
Well, she had Pretty Girl Rock. I like that song. Yeah, I like that song. You want to fight about it?
Which song? Which song?
Pretty Girl Rock. You should look it up.
I will.
I also like there's a remix of something made. Doesn't matter. This has nothing to do with Mania.
It doesn't matter.
But that was probably why she sang it, because I think that song was big when that came out. And then The Rock.
The host.
The host, The Rock. This is Rock-O-Mania. That's
Rock-O-Mania.
It was one of my beefs with this WrestleMania.
Well, again, it's because
it was Rock Central.
Yeah.
And not the
It's
music
sad.
genre
It's
rock.
really sad that they really thought this WrestleMania was so lame.
And
Going to
he
be
said
so lame.
this was going to be the
that they
best
needed-
WrestleMania because of him, pretty much.
Yes.
Absolutely not. It was almost like a sketch comedy show.
It was.
Like,
Close to it.
This is a little sketch we have, and then The Rock hosts
Yeah.
talking for no reason.
And then, again, I do believe they brought him back for this because they felt like this WrestleMania was lacking.
Yeah. And because it was, I don't know, it was in Georgia Dome.
Yeah, it was in Georgia Dome. Would you say that this version of The Rock was closer to Attitude Era Rock than what we have now?
I don't know.
It's close.
I
It
feel like
was a little
it's
closer?
basically the same guy to me. I wouldn't think Attitude Era at all from this Rock.
Okay.
Just from like the backstage segments.
No,
and stuff,
I get you. I
wouldn't
get what
think
you're saying.
that. First match, Del Rio versus Edge for the World Heavyweight title.
I remember this match. We knew who'd win because
Edge is with Christian, by the way, and Del Rio had Ricardo Rodriguez and Brodus Clay.
And Edge also had
The cast.
it was taped up or something. It
Well,
wasn't a
whatever.
cast.
But if
Taped up
if
arm
something's
or
taped
elbow.
up, that's better than
You know
any
what?
manager you could possibly have.
This had
Because
a-
that guarantees a win.
This had a pretty good build up because, like I said to you before the show, I watched Elimination Chamber before I watched this. I watched so much wrestling yesterday. I wanted to kill myself. I'm kidding. I didn't really want to, but I
Suicide
did.
dive yourself.
Suicide dive.
I almost had a little tantrum at home because I
Oh
was like,
boy.
I don't want to watch this. Just because of the one match, it was gonna really take it out of me. Get to that later. You had Edge up in the Elimination Chamber, the pay per view before this. First champion to go in and retain his title, I believe.
Okay.
It's from what I remember. And you had Del Rio winning the Royal Rumble.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember Del Rio winning the Royal. Do you remember that, John?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just cut this short. Edge wins.
Yep. And what ended to be his last Mania match.
It ended up being his last Mania match because he has a neck injury.
Yeah.
I think had we already knew he was going to win. We had no idea about the neck injury.
Yeah. Now, looking back, do you see Del Rio and Edge being extra careful during this match?
No.
So
I think, Edge probably knew it was his last one. And he wasn't going to go crazy because of his problems. But
he still
he still took it. It was probably maybe an average Mania match.
All
It
right.
could have gone farther because I've seen him go farther in matches.
I remember it being a relatively short match. It wasn't too long.
It wasn't that big. But yeah, Edge wins. They destroy Del Rio's car.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
There had to be a segment that I didn't write down. But the next thing was Cody Rhodes, the grotesque Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio. I don't know if I need to tell the backstory of this. Rey Mysterio
I remember
did,
that. He broke his face or something.
he broke his nose or face or whatever.
Okay,
Because
Cody
of the knee brace that he has under his pants.
Right.
Because he's got bad knees and should probably hang it up, but whatever. Cody Rhodes came back, plastic, see-through face mask, which was sanctioned by the board or whatever the hell. And he basically would use it during the match as a weapon.
And he won that match, right?
He
Yes, I was so
Which-
happy.
Wait, was Rey Mysterio dressed up as Captain America?
did. He
in
was.
this one?
Look at that. I didn't even need to write that down. You just remember these things. I wouldn't have remembered that. If someone said who wins this match, didn't even remember beforehand.
Yeah.
I would have said Rey Mysterio. He always wins.
Yeah.
He always wins.
He always wins. Whatever. He retired JBL at Mania.
Shut up.
But he didn't. He didn't win. And it was a really good match. I don't know why I couldn't remember this one. But Cody Rhodes wins. With a relatively nice looking crossroads. I don't like the move.
Uh-huh.
Because I just think it's...
I think the disaster kick should be his finisher, but
Well, he did win a match, was it on Raw or SmackDown with
I
it?
think it was on Raw.
what was that?
Email.
Oh.
Calling it out.
Breaking news.
And then after that we had a Snoop Dogg backstage segment.
Blah.
This is not Snoop Lion, as people might know him
Snoop
today.
Lion.
He's doing reggae now. But
Oh, goodness.
Oh,
I think he was doing like a tour or something. I forgot I was going to go back because I wrote this down afterwards to see who was in it. But they had like an American Idol type thing where you had a couple of guys coming out and singing to go on tour with them or whatever. You had Regal busting out a sick rhyme. I didn't write it down.
Uh-huh.
But I remember because Regal to me always they have him do these things.
Oh, yeah.
And he plays it off so well.
Yeah, he nails it every time.
He does every time.
I love Regal.
Do you remember his bit with Prime Time?
I remember. I don't remember what he said.
No, he just started dancing with him.
Yeah, but he said something, didn't he?
I don't remember. I think they took his wallet. And he didn't
Oh
appreciate
yeah, I
it.
remember that.
Something like that.
They take his wallet.
Then you had Beth Phoenix and Khali singing a Grease song. I think it was Summer Lovin'.
Or maybe it
Oh
wasn't.
God.
All right.
There was a bunch of other stuff. It ended with Hornswoggle.
Nah.
The segment's ruined.
And hold on.
Segment's
Moving on.
They gave up.
Move on.
Because Teddy Long informed Snoop Dogg that Hornswoggle, at this time, still couldn't talk.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't talk, so he was like, oh, forget it. And they left.
Should have stayed that way.
And then I knew it was coming. Hornswoggle, well, the Bella Twins came out of nowhere.
Uh-huh.
And then Hornswoggle started rapping.
Wow.
And
Yep.
yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
segment was just destroyed. Wasted
I
time.
thought it was a stupid segment.
You could have just had. This is where you could have had the Daniel Bryan Sheamus match.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
Next up, 8-man tag match.
very short.
The Core.
I remember
The
you
core.
had your Nexus shirt. If you
Yes, because I was always broke and couldn't buy the Core. And besides, I don't like Ezekiel Jackson. So
Oh, you're gonna get that man mad.
Hey, enough.
man.
Lay off Ezekiel Jackson. Big Zeke.
Big Zeke.
I liked him when he was
ECW
Brian-
champion.
No.
You loved him when he was ECW champion.
He was the last ECW
Last ECW
That's
champion of
BS.
all
It should
time.
have just been Christian, but
Who?
Christian.
Who?
Christian!
Christian can't even hold on to a title for 2 days.
He held that title for like 23 weeks.
Or the ECW
Yeah.
title. Everybody knows the ECW title didn't mean anything until
He made
Ezekiel
it
Jackson
mean
won it.
something. Absolutely not. I'm just
Ezekiel
gonna ignore
Jackson made the
it.
title.
The Core
mean something.
versus Big Show and Kane
Don't ignore me.
and Santino Marella. Vladimir Kozlov
Also,
got beat
yes.
up by the Core the day before.
He had to go
at
shoulder
Access, whatever.
surgery.
So they added Kofi Kingston.
Yep.
It was I think this is like the shortest match of the night.
Okay.
The entrances were probably longer.
Yeah, I think you were upset by this that night.
Uh,
No, remind us who are the members of the core of this WrestleMania.
Wade Barrett.
well,
Ezekiel
there was only the
Jackson,
one Mania.
Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater.
Okay.
Yeah, they only had the 4 members. They
Was this before CM Punk assumed control of them? Or, no, this was after, right?
This was there was a split up between the Nexus and the Core.
Right, the new Nexus.
For
and the
like a
core.
week or two, you didn't know if Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater
Yeah.
were going to stay with Punk.
Right.
But then they jumped ship to SmackDown with Wade Barrett.
Okay.
And they added Ezekiel Jackson
I
for no
remember
real
that.
reason.
Well, they
David
needed-
Otunga stayed with the Nexus and then became tag team champions with Michael McGillicuddy. People might not remember that.
Yeah.
Sad. Michael McGillicuddy always uses his tag partner's music.
Yeah.
He used David Otunga's music, and then when he earlier on this year, teamed with Bo Dallas and used Bo Dallas's music.
Oh, Dallas.
Sad stuff. These are the things I remember, though. Awesome. Weird,
Nothing.
stupid things.
It was the match was short.
It was very short. It was under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It was. It saw, and I liked the slow motion recap afterwards because you see the knockout punch from Big Show to Heath Slater.
Okay.
Oh, he had his fist, by the way.
Yeah, he did. I always wonder if he really punches him or not. It seems like a stupid thing to question, because you would think he can't just go around punching people.
Mhm.
But then I also can't see Heath Slater selling something like that well.
Right.
John just motioned him punching himself in the face, and if you really punched yourself in the face, John, you'd feel it.
Well, no, I'm trying to figure out how he does it. So
Yeah,
you know,
because it
so
all
he doesn't.
happens very quickly.
Yeah.
I figure he
I'm sure-
uses the joints under his knuckles.
That's what I'm trying to feel like.
Right,
You know,
right here. That's where the impact would be. It's not going to
It's
hurt
not-
much because you do have some
Right.
leeway there.
That's why if he's punching
So-
with his knuckles, he's knocked out.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
You're actually
But
punching.
if you saw the slow motion, Heath Slater, like you can't fake hair. Like when you get punched, you can fake, oh.
Well, some people know how to
overstep
fake it, though. Some people know how to use their hair to
Well,
fake it.
I would assume maybe Heath Slater has had long hair for a while. He might not. He might know how to.
Yeah.
But the slow motion,
Must
the
have been
angle.
awesome.
It was probably the angle too, because you don't see the punch connect.
Uh-huh.
It was behind Heath Slater,
Okay.
so you're blocked by his head.
Yeah.
I was gonna say his face, but you can't even see his face. But yeah, the slow motion when he turns around and the look on his face, hilarious. I was like, hilarious. And then I know that their celebration upset you.
Did it? I'm trying to remember.
I remember you being
Oh,
upset with Kane.
was it the trombone?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I wasn't paying attention to that because that's not a big deal.
he
For me.
played that rusty trombone.
Was it?
It's not a rusty trombone, John.
I-
I'm not gonna go on here and say what a rusty trombone is, but it's not what you're saying.
I can't remember him doing the trombone at
And they
WrestleMania.
wouldn't have him do that at Mania in front of everybody. What were you saying?
No, I'm trying to remember him.
in the middle of the ring.
I'm trying to remember him doing the
Santino.
trombone in the middle of the ring. Because I remember it
I remember
happening
it
on
being
Raw
at-
or SmackDown. I
thought
don't
it was on
remember.
Mania.
I don't remember it being at Mania.
Oh, maybe that's why I
That
didn't
might
see
have been
it.
on Raw.
Okay, well,
I gotta look it up.
maybe that's why I didn't see it. Next thing, another Rock segment.
Yay!
At first, it was just Rock and Eve.
Oh yeah, this is the one with Stone Cold.
Yes. With Rock and Eve, they're talking, whatever. Then he said he's going to electrify the next person that comes in through the curtain.
Uh-huh.
That comes around the corner. And then Eve picks out the next person, and it's Mae Young. And Mae Young's a dirty old lady.
Hey, another comedy skit.
She wanted the people's strudel.
But it gets serious.
They leave her, even Mae Young leave, turns around, he says something about Mae Young. Why did it have to be Mae Young? Why couldn't it be anybody else but Mae Young? Turns around, Stone Cold's there.
Right.
It was a very, it was a stare down, basically.
Everybody loves those stare downs.
You know, nothing's going to come from it, so I didn't care for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Any of the times. Next, CM Punk versus Randy Orton.
Okay. I actually almost knew exactly how Orton was going to win this, too.
I thought it was a good finish.
It was a good finish. But I've seen them do it before with other people, and I figured, all right, CM Punk does have a move where he jumps off the rope, so
Right.
I figure he's going
And
to
you
use
hadn't
that.
seen it in a while.
Yeah. So, it was a good match for that matter.
It was. I was thinking of saying that this was match of the night.
Uh-huh.
But then I couldn't decide if I liked it better than Cody Rhodes,
Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio, because that also was a good match. Sad that I wouldn't have put Edge Del Rio at it being his last match overall, and at Mania. I thought that it could have been better.
Yeah.
Especially when you had 3 other people outside of the ring.
Exactly. There's a lot of people.
Not to say that Christian didn't get involved, or Brodus Clay, or Ricardo, but it could have just been better. But like you said, this was a pretty good match. Tied for my favorite of the night. It was so well worked.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is I think I might have to say this was match of the night. Even though I don't particularly like Orton all that much sometimes.
Yeah.
He really sold the leg injury.
Yeah. Orton's good at selling. I mean, you got to give him that.
And it really came out of nowhere. I didn't expect it when it happened.
Right.
The leg injury was something that happened before Mania, just to let people know.
Was it a case? It was how did it get injured again?
I don't remember. Go figure.
Well, I don't
figure.
remember.
I don't
It's
remember.
not like it's a big deal, but
Yeah.
it was part of the storyline.
It
Right?
was part of the storyline. Should have known that he was going to win with that.
Yeah.
Because you have something taped up, you're going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
The spot where CM Punk jumps over the steel steps on the outside.
Yeah.
Orton comes after him on the other side. He kicks the steel steps into his knee.
Okay.
Good spot. And, just using the injury to your advantage, obviously. Working the leg the whole time. What's the hellhound behind me? It's coming for me. Sorry. Well, you have Punk down toward the end. After having hit a GTS already. Orton's about to go for the RKO. Punk is down the whole time. So he starts hearing the voices. You know, John. He starts hearing the voices.
Yep.
So he moves back to the corner. About to give him the punt kick. Oh, knee injury out of nowhere. He goes down. Punk miraculously is now up. Looking around like, yeah. Almost gets hit with an RKO, I believe. But dodges it. Decides for some reason to go to the top rope. Gets caught with the RKO.
Yep.
This was a shortened version. I didn't do it justice just now. I was distracted by a beast somewhere else. Next segment, Rock.
Rock again.
Rock again. Just can't keep this guy down. This time with Mean Gene and Pee Wee Herman. Who's on Team Cena.
Well, he would be on Team Cena.
He would be on Team Cena.
Because he knows Team Cena's fan base.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
I remember when he was, I think this was around the time that he was on Broadway or something. He was doing a show again. I really wanted to buy tickets, but didn't have the money.
You see it on, I think HBO still has it.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
I think I saw part of it. This has nothing to do with Mania.
Yes.
By the end of the promo, Rock gets Pee Wee Herman to join Team Rock.
Of course.
Of course. And then after that, they had the 2011 class, Hall of Fame class come out, which the star attraction was Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
For people that would have forgotten that, but Drew Carey was there too. So I don't know if it makes up. But you had the Road Warriors.
Okay.
You had Bull Bob Armstrong. You had Sonny.
Well, you had one Road Warrior, right?
You had one Road Warrior, and was it his name Paul Ellering?
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. Sonny, Abdullah the Botcher,
Yes.
Duel of the Botcher.
There's somebody else.
Here's a funny note. Well, maybe not funny. It depends on your type of sense of humor.
I might think it's funny.
A long time ago, I owned a game for PlayStation called WCW versus the World.
Okay.
It was a game where you had WCW, but then you had a bunch of other promotions, and you had the likeness of that character, but they would have a different name. Because they didn't exactly
we do that
have
a lot
the
with
license.
like Japanese games.
Yeah. So there was one character who was clearly Hawk.
Okay.
His name was Overdose.
Wow.
So
Oh my. Oh
Wow.
my. Wow.
that's serious.
Overdose.
Yes.
I couldn't remember for a second if he overdosed or had a heart attack.
I don't know what it was.
That's funny.
But it's,
I mean,
his
that's
name
funny
was
in a messed up
Overdose.
way.
There it is.
I thought it was going to end up being a Abdullah joke.
No,
for
no,
some
no.
reason.
It was. Yeah, I just remembered when
Yeah.
we referenced the Road Warriors. But
Wow.
I can even show you the roster. Just to show.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Next up.
You're
and
very bad man.
I feel like this. Oh, sat on my tender. One of my tenders.
Happens.
It happened.
Yeah,
Woke me
Michael
up.
Cole.
Definitely woke me up just now.
Cole versus.
Yeah, Michael
Lawler.
Cole and Jerry Lawler, and this is tied for worst match of the night for me.
Yes.
I will get to that.
Oh, with Stone Cold as special guest referee.
It was awful. It was just terrible. The only good parts were before the match started.
That's true.
During the match it was awful. You know what? Stone Cold, they need to stop bringing him back to be special guest referee for things.
Good point.
Because when you see him, you want him
Well,
to...
remember, they keep sucking him off, so.
Okay, but you always want to see him get involved.
Somehow, someway.
You always want to do that. But for the most part, he always calls it down the middle.
He does.
And it's really really annoying. Because of how... It's one of those massive letdown type situations. Where you really want to see something happen, it never happens. It's never going to happen.
Right. No, this was the WrestleMania where they had the coal mine
Yeah.
at ringside the whole time.
Yep.
Damn coal mine.
I liked
You
the
know
coal
what?
mine.
Breaking
Is
news.
that Mr. GM?
Mr. GM.
No.
I would never give him my number.
So I just felt like I should write this. Originally, people will forget this if they look it up or something. Jerry Lawler won by submission.
No,
He used the
Michael Cole won.
He used the ankle lock.
Oh.
The ain't coal lock.
I
Submission,
forgot.
he tapped out. He
Jack
won.
Swagger had trained Michael Cole.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Jack Swagger actually was a good manager for this feud.
Yeah, he was.
I guess because you could only hear him yell, but you never
Yeah.
heard what he was saying, so you can't tell if he messed up or not. But then it was later overturned by the mystery GM, saying that Steve Austin
Yes.
whatever. Oh, but all he did was get involved with Jack Swagger.
That's
He
it.
didn't do anything to Michael Cole, so I don't understand how this was Hornswoggle.
I don't know.
Me neither.
Spoiler alert, if you
Yeah.
didn't know already, Hornswoggle with Mr. GM. So, Michael Cole undefeated at WrestleMania, Mr. WrestleMania.
Yep. He's got a better winning percentage than Shawn Michaels. So,
Close.
He should face the Undertaker next year. I'm kidding, because I don't want to see Undertaker next year. But
He may be fatter.
interesting. If some people might not know this, Jerry Lawler doesn't drink. He doesn't do drugs. He's
Straight edge.
for all intents and purposes straight edge, without the, that negative stuff that comes along with it for sometimes. So I thought it was interesting. Stone Cold gives him the Steve Weisers, the light Budweisers, and Stone Cold pouring it all over himself. He never really drinks all of it, and then just in the corner on the turnbuckle is Lawler just smashing the cans together, just pretty much just pouring the beer anywhere else but in his mouth, on him, anything. And I thought it was interesting.
Well, it wasn't like JBL, like when they did the thing with Stone Cold. And he was
Was
drinking
it Saturday?
yeah, it was
Thursday
like
main event or something like that.
Saturday
Saturday
Night
Night
Main
Main
Event. And he wasn't really drinking. It
He
was
wasn't, yeah.
going on his.
Yeah, and then he got stunnered.
Just
he was
drink
cheating.
the beer.
yeah, right?
Just
Who
drink the
cares?
beer.
Who cares?
Oh,
People
no.
wanted to see him get stunnered. It didn't matter.
Oh, that was
That's
true.
that's right. Whenever he's around, that's all you want to see, really.
It is. That's why he sucks as a special guest referee.
yeah.
Next up, this was the other match tied for worst of the night. I don't care what anybody
and
says.
it won't be what you expect either.
It won't be the next match.
Yeah.
Or what you thought was the worst match.
Right.
Because I was with this group. We were on it.
Yeah.
And everybody was so
And everyone was
on
into
this,
it, right?
Everyone was on the jock of this match. And it was awful. I thought it was awful beforehand, during, and after. People thought it was crazy. Triple H versus Undertaker. Triple H had a special entrance. Undertaker had the usual stuff. I'm going to shorten it. Because this match was, I believe, and I could be wrong, 29 minutes and 58 seconds. Which is stupid to know or guess. But it was almost 30 minutes, I know that for sure. And it felt even longer.
But yeah, I know what you meant. I know what you
The
mean.
match from the get-go was so slow.
Mm-hmm.
And they oversold each other so early on in the match. And, I don't like Triple H all that much.
I remember the entrances too.
I'm not even counting entrances.
Undertaker came out to some Johnny Cash song. Changed something.
Probably
Can't
because
hold
of,
his body down.
Because of the promos.
And then Triple H came
Triple
out
H
to
had a
Metallica
weird,
for whom the bell
yeah,
tolls.
Yeah.
And then went back to his own song. So.
But, like I was saying, I don't like Triple H. I like Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been saying for a while, Undertaker needs to stop coming back. Or at least take a year off until you're really...
In shape.
Healed up and everything.
Yeah.
Because this match was so slow from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Very little stuff happened in the beginning, the first minute or so in the match, to justify them being beat up that early on. Because it seriously felt like 27 minutes of it was selling.
Yeah.
Yeah, at some point you started getting finishers. But there was a long period where it was chair shots on Taker.
Yeah.
And Triple H just telling him to stay down instead of going for the pin.
Stay down.
I just hated this match. It was so slow paced, too long, such overselling, and you asked me before the show. I think it was on Undertaker because he's been beat up. Triple H, you could tell, he was ready to keep going, but Undertaker just doesn't have it in him.
Right.
And I also didn't like next year's match, although it was, if I remember correctly, to me was better than this one.
Right. Mostly because of, not mostly. A lot of it had to do with Shawn Michaels being involved.
It did. Because you weren't focusing so much on the wrestlers. You also had another person to pay attention to.
Shawn Michaels was there to tell more of a story with his reaction to it.
Yeah.
I do remember this match. I gotta watch it again, but from what I remember, my first reaction to this match, Triple H versus Undertaker, was all I saw was a regular match. And at the end,
But much slower.
kicking out of each other's finishers.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. I felt like it was just a very slow-paced match in the beginning, until they started hitting finishers and
Even then it was
kicking
slow,
out.
though.
Right.
Because they didn't finish
Because
it.
they're
Lay
worn
there.
out. Yeah, they're I know what you mean. I just wasn't impressed by the match either.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't get the huge reaction. I mean, I personally didn't think it was the worst match of the night.
It was for me.
But I didn't get the gigantic reaction. Like when Undertaker kicked out of the Tombstone Piledriver, I couldn't have been the only one who knew he was going to kick out.
You know what though? That's the only point. I remember when it first happened, I wasn't impressed because I knew Triple H. I knew Triple H wasn't going to win, and I certainly knew he wasn't going to win with Undertaker's finisher.
Okay.
But for some reason, I liked watching him kick out of it.
Yeah.
This time around.
That was the only good spot in the match, I thought.
I guess. I'm not gonna say what was the best spot or anything. Actually, my favorite spot of the match, and you could say this was justifiable for people to start slowing down, but only for Triple H, and he didn't slow down, was at some point they were on top of the announce table, not the Spanish announce table. Awesome. And Undertaker back body dropped Triple H off of the table.
I do remember that.
That was a good spot.
Yeah.
And that would be the only good spot to me.
Okay.
At one point, they destroyed the coal mine. It was right in the beginning.
I remember that.
Triple H kind of pushed Undertaker, and he fell so slowly because there was so much stuff set up in the coal mine that it couldn't fall over properly.
Yeah.
But even so, I was like, this is stupid. I really had to force myself to watch this match.
That's tough.
In fact, I even sped it
This
up.
is the match that made you want to hang yourself last
Yes.
night because you were watching so much wrestling.
I was watching so much wrestling, and I knew the ordeal I was going to go through watching a match I didn't like already. And I tried to stay unbiased. I'm like, maybe I'll see something this time
Okay.
that I won't hate it. But for some people that have a PS3,
Yeah.
because that's my Blu-ray player. It's the only way I could watch it. You can speed it up and still hear. If you speed it up slightly, you could still hear commentary and the whole match, all the sounds in the crowd and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just faster. Or sometimes if you speed it up, you can't hear anything because it's just sped up. So I got to listen to commentary and all that same stuff. It was just faster.
All right.
And even
Okay.
so, that only makes it a 20-minute match instead of a 30.
Did Matt Striker do commentary for this WrestleMania? I know he did 26.
I know Matt Striker was on commentary for the pre-show,
Okay.
but I do not believe he was on it for the rest.
Okay.
It was JR, Jerry Lawler, and I cannot remember the third person.
Okay.
That being said, Undertaker won by submission using the Hell's Gate,
Okay.
which he held forever,
Yeah.
which
Right.
is fine.
Which he held
Which is fine.
forever.
It's fine because it adds dramatic effect.
Yeah.
Because by this point, Triple H had a sledgehammer.
If it's gonna end the match, yeah.
Yeah, he had the sledgehammer already. He couldn't even use it.
Mhm.
He never even got to use it.
Yeah, he didn't.
But yeah, that's how that ended. Hated the match. Hated the third one. They said this was the first. It was really the second. The one after this, Hell in a Cell, was the third. They billed it as the second one for whatever reason. That one was better. Though they were both terrible. I don't care.
Okay.
Argue it all you want. It's my opinion. Bite
Everyone
it.
has their opinion.
Bite it!
Ah.
Yep. I know that the main event was your
Yeah, I did
personal
that.
hated match, but
I hated this match.
before the main event, we had Dolph Ziggler and Lay Cool versus John Morrison, Trish Stratus, and Snooki.
I hated this match.
This one was such a better match, and I said, like, this is better than Triple H versus Undertaker.
The only thing that was interesting in the match was Snooki's
Gymnastics.
gymnastics.
I remember-
that was impressive.
I remember this.
That got a big pop in the party that we
Yes,
were at, because
that's
no one
exactly
saw it.
Yeah.
what. I wasn't surprised.
No.
I guess it's really sad that I knew this
Mhm.
because I don't watch Jersey Shore. It's dumb. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But I remember hearing things about her
Mhm.
that she wasn't always a troll and that she was in gymnastics for years.
Yeah.
So when she did it, I wasn't surprised.
Okay.
Everyone else in the room didn't seem to know
I
any
didn't
of
know
this,
about that either.
and I remember the house going crazy.
Yeah.
What did I just see?
I remember that.
It's just if you don't know it,
Yeah.
that's the last thing you
Yes.
expect her
Yeah.
to see her doing.
Even so, watching it again, it was still pretty cool.
Yeah, it was, and I didn't know about it because I had made it a mission to not see anything concerning the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, I didn't. No, it wasn't from watching Jersey Shore. It was watching other things.
Exactly.
They talked about it.
And I remember you saying that it would have been more impressive if her shirt hadn't been flying off.
Yes, and they picked the worst camera
Yeah,
angle because
yeah.
you just see it.
Yeah, yeah.
And another thing is that move also would have looked good
Uh-huh.
had Michelle McCool not moved.
Good point.
She
Okay.
moved up, I guess, thinking that Snooki wasn't gonna make the distance.
Okay.
It just looked bad
All right.
because she moved up. I will give Snooki some credit. Some credit.
Well, she
Because-
did something that's far more athletic than anything the Miz did.
Or really any of the divas in that match.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Really.
some people might like Michelle McCool
Mhm.
or Layla, and now I like Layla. She's entertaining. Michelle McCool's done what she's done.
Yep.
She hasn't been the worst divas champion, but none of them were doing that.
She's with Fatty Taker.
Great.
Completely forgot.
Baby Bottle Taker.
Baby
She
Bottle
wasn't doing
Taker.
that, so I'll give her that.
Okay.
But then the next move after that, it was like some somersault into a splash.
Yeah.
Was very unflattering also for Snooki.
Yeah, I know.
Because she got no air on the splash. She got no air whatsoever.
Was it the
It was sort of was. But it was on the ground. It wasn't like she went on the
Yeah.
top rope.
Yeah.
And some people who read dirt sheets or read stuff on the internet will remember John Morrison snubbing Trish Stratus during the celebration.
Right.
And I had to, tell a person that ended up seeing the end of Mania
Uh-huh.
while I was watching it about that
Uh-huh.
and the backstage stuff that had gone on. Poor John Morrison. Because he just keeps getting involved with his girlfriend's BS.
Yeah.
But hey,
Yeah.
that has
Sad-
nothing to do with
the,
me.
The sad thing is that
And then for
that
the rest
would
of the
be-
year, he just lost.
yeah, and
He just
because of that,
lost.
you know,
Yeah.
and you don't snub the almighty Trish Stratus.
Hey, you know,
Because
even
she's for some reason considered the best diva of all time.
that's arguable,
whatever
but
that reason is.
understandable, and certainly way more over than John Morrison.
Yeah, exactly. So unfortunately, and,
You know-
and the sad thing is, Morrison getting involved in his girlfriend's BS, which was Melina at the time, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
I didn't want to say that, but
Well, I mean,
apparently
it's
it was
part-
echoed by other divas backstage. However, it was like, why would he have been involved other than the fact that his girlfriend was Melina?
Yeah,
a diva at the time.
and it's sad because some people would consider that being a good boyfriend,
But yeah,
but it was just career suicide.
it was.
And
It was a terrible move.
Moron.
which is it's sad,
It
I
is.
mean, well, I don't want to call him a moron because he was stuck in a hard.
I
rock
feel
and a
like
bad place. A
calling
hard
him.
place.
I think it was Steve Carino.
Okay.
Right, he was with Sonny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the new Steve Carino.
Okay.
In a certain sense, I don't want to talk bad about Sonny or Steve Carino. Not like I know them,
Mhm.
but if you think about it, it's not to the extreme of Sonny from
Right,
the
but
stories
it's
I've
the
heard.
same. It's the same
but
idea,
it's
though.
the same idea.
Yeah.
Messing around with other guys and stuff, and you're still with them for whatever reason.
Yeah, yeah.
On to the main event.
If you want to call it a main event,
It was the main event.
Yay!
it's so pathetic.
And,
Yay!
I think if you went back, taking your bias for the Miz aside,
No, at the time of this match, I didn't even have a bias against The Miz. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't necessarily buy him as WWE champion. I thought it was a joke, but I went into this thinking,
what else was the joke was that he was also feuding the month before that with Jerry Lawler.
yeah.
It's like the only way to keep the title on him, keep him believable, is to face an older
So
guy.
again, I didn't think he was a legitimate champ. I thought it was a joke. At some point, I stopped watching because I couldn't take a show where he was considered top dog.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was the stupidest thing I'd ever seen.
But this
a
is
ridiculous attempt.
Being the champion doesn't mean you have the best wrestling ability.
No,
It means
I
you
understand
get
that.
the most reaction, and
I understand
he was
that.
getting that.
I understand that. And it seems like one of the other reasons they did this was because of his reputation as a former reality TV show
Okay.
star. And as we all know, for some reason, reality TV show is it's a big thing these days. So, is it a good business decision? Okay, but the match was terrible.
Well, here's another
Miz
thing.
isn't good in the ring.
Here's
I don't care what
another
anyone
thing.
says. You could say, "Oh, he improved." Oh, yeah, okay. It's pretty easy to improve from complete crap to still crap, but not complete crap. Okay, I could say that's improvement.
I'm so glad you guys got involved.
If
with this
I'm
review.
if I'm eating a turd sandwich
Okay.
Wow.
for months, okay, and you give me, let's say, a dirt sandwich.
Well, hold on. I would
Okay.
rather eat a dirt sandwich, I would think.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying though. It's still better,
Right, but it's...
but it's still you're still eating. Look at what you're eating. It's still garbage.
You're eating worm poop.
I mean, you're eating whatever's in dirt. I mean, yeah, for all we know, there's still crap in it. But I mean, it's still an improvement. That doesn't mean it's any good.
Right.
You're still just better than
Okay.
what you were before.
Yeah.
And as of right now, Miz is still the same. What does he have now?
No, he's
Figure 4 botch leg
Oh, we're
lock?
talking about now? Well, now he's a
Figure-
face
figure-
heel.
leg lock.
Figure 4 leg botch. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
That's Midge's
Botch
move.
lock.
Botch lock.
And I knew this was going to be a problem because at this time, I'm willing to admit now that John Cena can wrestle. Because he can.
He can.
At this point in time, not so much. He was still good in the ring. He had some classic matches, but mostly due to who he was in the ring with.
Yeah.
And this had disaster written all over it. I don't know who they thought was going to carry this match, but neither one of them did.
Here's the thing. I think it was pretty obvious
Mhm.
from the ending that they were going for this anyway.
Mhm.
So I kind of, in a sense, feel bad for The Miz
Mhm.
because he didn't really win this match.
He did it.
At first, it ended on a double count out,
Right.
which I found out. You find out later on, I guess if you read it on the internet, that this spot gave Miz a concussion.
Yeah.
So I guess he legitimately couldn't make it back to the ring. Because they both laid there. Cena shouldn't have, because he really didn't do anything for this spot.
Yeah.
So maybe he just sold it with Miz
Mhm.
to get to this point. But really, it was just a setup for Rock Cena next year.
This whole thing was a setup
It
for
was.
Rock Cena
That's
because
exactly, it was Rock.
Miz was, if anything, he was completely ignored throughout
Yes.
throughout the whole.
And-
Rock is going to host. By
Yep.
the way, he has a beef with John Cena.
Yeah.
That's
And anything that Rock did was talking about John Cena. Never talked about The Miz.
Mhm.
Um,
and the funny thing was, I
and they
remember.
even tried to incorporate Miz with The Rock, too.
Yeah.
With a feud with The Rock, just just to give the illusion that Miz mattered.
Yeah.
But
And it's funny because I think I can't remember if it was The Rock or not, but once was it The Rock who referred to Alex Riley as Miz's boyfriend?
I think so. Well, a couple of people did it.
Yeah, a couple of people did, and it did kind of look that way because funny backstage
Yeah,
segments
yeah.
were poorly timed.
Yes.
But I mean, I just could never take Miz seriously there.
Yeah.
And
But
could anybody
Riley
really?
wasn't that bad for a manager.
No, he
Let's
wasn't.
call him as a manager. He got involved
He was just bad at
necessarily.
not
Except
getting
for
eliminated
Main-
in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Getting eliminated when he's not supposed to.
But yeah, he did. But ended a double count out. Rock had to come out.
Mhm.
Again, The Rock.
Of course.
And he restarted the match. No countouts, no disqualifications.
Mhm.
This was gonna end. They're not gonna end the show like that on a double count.
Not on the Rock's Wrestlemania.
Yeah, the
or
first that was-
something like that.
Yeah.
But what happens? Rock still gets involved, and Rock bottoms John Cena. Miz gets the 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Miz did nothing.
Did nothing.
Miz did nothing.
These are highlights.
Low
He
lights.
really did well. I'm saying Miz.
Terrible.
You gotta feel bad for Miz. You gotta feel bad. They make you the champion, but then you're completely overshadowed in your own match.
Yep.
With somebody, one of the people not even being in the match.
And it seems like they gave him the win just as a consolation prize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, during Miz, clearly concussed.
Mhm.
Clearly doesn't know
Clearly.
what's going on.
Yeah.
He still gets a spine buster and the people's elbow.
Good.
Ends the show basically with Rock celebrating.
And then The Miz proceeds to lose the title right at the next pay-per-view, I believe, right?
Well, I didn't watch that far.
No, I know you didn't, but I do
Um,
remember right after this.
And of course, they have the traditional highlights recap of WrestleMania.
But to remind you how terrible this WrestleMania
Well, it's
was.
only the highlights, so it makes it look better than it was.
It couldn't fool me this time. I've been fooled before, but not this
Aha.
time.
That was it. That
That
was my review of.
And that ends WrestleMania 27.
Thankfully.
And this was the only pay-per-view, WrestleMania pay-per-view, that no titles changed hands.
Yeah.
First time ever.
I didn't
So-
even realize that at the time.
Wow, I didn't even realize it writing it down.
Do you know what was the most exciting part of this match? Was us playing WWE All-Stars.
Yes.
Before.
Yes, I played that. It was so
WrestleMania.
fun. And then people stopped wanting to play against me. Like, oh, get the controller away
Because
from
somehow you mastered the game within a couple
I had
minutes.
never played it. I had never played it.
and you
It was
started
so
beating
fun.
everybody.
You lie. You played it before you.
I had never
before
played
we got
it.
there.
It was
I
a
wasn't even gonna buy it.
It was hysterical seeing.
I had so much fun playing it. I'm like,
It was.
bring everybody on, anybody.
It was pretty
I'm
phenomenal.
like, get the controller away from him.
You can't play anymore.
No, I mean, if they had asked me to stop, I would have, but nobody said anything until that point. It was so fun. And then I bought it, and it was awesome.
We gotta play it again.
This kind of sadly broke now. Sean Diddy
Oh my goodness.
is going to be performing at WrestleMania
I don't
29.
care.
It's gonna be for the Rock's entrance,
Coming
isn't
home?
it?
Yep.
I knew it.
You know about Papa Diddy
Yeah.
Pop? He's gonna play Coming Home? Is he gonna
Sean
sing
Diddy
it?
Combs joins forces with the WWE.
Guys, goes, you guys.
See ya.
Later on.
So I also hear a rumor that Eminem's gonna do John Cena's entrance.
Eminem.
It seems like that's what they're. It seems like what they were trying to do was to get Jay-Z for the Rock's entrance and Eminem for Cena's entrance.
What would Eminem do? Cena's right.
Again, this is just dirt sheet garbage. You'll never know how legitimate this is. It just
I
seems
can
kinda
never
random,
see
but-
him. I can never see him rapping to "My Time" as that's his theme song. I can never see Eminem do that.
No. What they would probably do is what they did last year, where the performer comes out, just performs a song, and then Cena comes out to his
Oh,
own
okay. I got you.
song. Maybe I don't know.
Also, TNA is tonight.
Very excited.
Open Fight Night is tonight.
Okay,
Obviously, you know what Open Fight Night is.
definitely.
How many members of Aces and Eights do you think is gonna fight Open Fight Night?
Well, I would figure that whoever was on Team TNA is going to call out at least one Aces and Eights member.
Yes, at least.
For all we know, Kurt Angle might. I would imagine Kurt Angle will call out. What's his name? Briscoe.
Yes.
They'll probably call out Briscoe.
One of them. Like I said, I think they're all going to be involved.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if every match where an Aces and Eights member is called out ends with an Aces and Eights beatdown
Most
of
likely.
whoever's there.
Generic Aces and Eights beatdown.
I am wondering how TNA is going to combat this.
Yeah.
That I do wonder. Will they take the same WCW approach, or will they?
I really hope not.
Or will they come up with something new? I would like to see what they. This is what's exciting about the Aces and Eights storyline. You know, it's you can poke fun at TNA all you want, but it is at least they're doing factions. You know, I've been waiting years for WWE to even do a faction, but so far I've seen nothing.
Will we see more of AJ Styles being quiet?
We probably will. I don't expect anything major until the next
Now,
pay-per-view.
this is what's pissing me off. A lot of people are saying it's the Crow Sting.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So essentially, in the way that he would band together TNA and go up against Aces and Eights.
Yeah, I would say
But that
so.
doesn't make any sense
That makes
because
no sense either.
because Crow Sting didn't attack faces.
No, he just...
That would be if Crow Sting had returned and attacked the Macho Man.
Yeah,
He didn't. He went right after the NWO immediately.
that's true.
So that's a big difference already. I don't see how he's Crow Sting.
I don't see it either. I really hope they go somewhere different. I think it is going to end with him defeating Aces and Eights, though.
I believe he will get.
Because if...
He's a homegrown TNA superstar. It would make sense.
Think about it. Let's see. If Kurt Angle and all these guys couldn't do it, Jeff Hardy couldn't do it, you know, who's left?
Yeah.
Samoa Joe couldn't do it.
Right.
Magnus couldn't do it. Even though they won the pay-per-view match,
Yeah.
they have... Don't they have, like, every title?
To the Aces and Eights?
Yeah.
No, the Bobby Roode and Austin Aries still have the
Oh, they
tag
still have the
titles.
tag. Don't be shy if the Aces and Eights get the tag titles as well.
Yeah.
You know, that's soon. It's gonna happen. They're gonna own every title. I mean, Devon's got the TV title.
TV title, yeah.
Bully Ray's got the World Heavyweight title.
They still have to go after
the
X
X
Division, knockouts,
and knockouts.
tag titles.
I can't. I think they're gonna do away with those titles. They haven't been.
I don't know. They might as well do away with the X Division because it's non-existent. All it is, it's Kenny King and Zema Ion.
Zema Wow, you have a hatred for Kenny King, and I love it. Yeah. That's TNA for you tonight, 8 o'clock. We'll have that tomorrow. 10 days away till WrestleMania. Next Thursday is Access for me.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's slowly getting closer, as is baseball, as we're only a couple days away from the first pitch. Yeah, everything's coming full circle now almost.
It's gonna get busy.
They did, like I said, they did announce an Access match that I'll get to see, Zack Ryder versus Michael McGillicuddy.
Maybe Zack Ryder will finally win a match.
Most
That's his
likely.
push.
That's his push.
Michael McGillicuddy.
I will have a full review of Access that Friday. You know, I'm looking forward to it. I think that's any more you want to say, it, man?
No, not necessarily. We did good today.
We did good today, you think? We
Yeah.
covered pretty much everything?
Yeah.
Like I said, TNA and stuff like that for tomorrow. And, yeah, that's going to do it for today. I'm John.
This is Ant.
See you guys tomorrow.